Fike wins the opening tip, but it's a violation. It'll come back the other way for Nebraska.
Mark, as you watch today's game, we talked about the backcourts, and I really do believe Danny Nee has the best backcourt in the Big 8 this year. He's done a great job. His 9th year, he's taken them to 4 straight NCAA tournaments. But the inside game may be where it's won or lost. Michigan State with more beef inside. Nebraska a little bit quicker.
We'll see how they match up. Michigan State coming out in its traditional man-to-man straight-up defense. Strickland driving, hanging and getting it to go. Strickland is the type of guy that can make his own shot just like that.
Yeah, but this guy, Eric Snow, pushes the basketball up the floor right away. Michigan State trying to get it up, get an easy one. And that's another key today. Nebraska getting back on the first possession. If one of these two teams can get out and run, they'll have a big-time rally throughout this game. It may be a game of runs up and down the floor.
A good sign for Nebraska, not allowing Snow to score after that basket. Here's Respert, and that's why they call him Top Gun in Michigan State. Respert, the all-time three-point shooting leader at Michigan State.
And before it's all over, he may indeed be the all-time leading scorer in Michigan State history.
Traveling that time called on Strickland, so Nebraska with its first turnover of the afternoon.
Nebraska in the straight man-to-man, but they like to switch in their man-to-man, so you have to make that adjustment as an offense. Normally, the man who sets the screen is open against a switching man-to-man defense.
Interesting matchup, Respert against Strickland. Strickland, their stopper. That's Brooks with the runner that is no good. Rebound to Badgett. Now quickly to Brooks. You won't see many of Nebraska's big guys look to score. They come from the guards like that one there, Boone.
Like Boone against Respert. What a great matchup early on this year.
And Respert quickly back at you. Brooks comes over the top and he is whistled for the foul. Boone posting up Respert down low on the blocks, Terry.
And he's got some height on him too. And that's one of the questions about Sean Respert, his defense. The coaches from Michigan State say he's really improved that way, but I think in terms of the NBA and scouts, that's what they want to see him improve on.
Boom!
Well, you cannot lay off of Deron Boone. I mean, Respert gave him way too much room that time.
And he paid a dear price. The three-pointer puts Nebraska up by a score of 7-2. And that brings the crowd collectively to their feet. Garavaglia, rebound Boone, and they're out and running. Strickland, the bank is closed. Scramble, Michigan State comes up with it. This is Snow. Rejected by Brooks.
Oh, he got hit that time.
Strickland missing, and the basket will not count if it falls, which it doesn't.
Neither team is going to settle for stopping the fast break. They want to come right back at each other.
Here's Brooks. Throws it up wildly off the glass. Nebraska with numbers. Brooks. Badgett with the hoop, and it's a 7-point advantage for Nebraska.
Now, this is where your senior leadership has to come to play for Michigan State. A Respert getting a big bucket, trying to take the crowd out of it. And when you have a senior backcourt like they do, normally on the road, you don't get down early. I mean, they're down by 7 right now, but that's when Eric Snow makes sure he gets the ball in the hands of Sean Respert.
Snow takes it himself and got it to fall.
Or else he shoots it. Either way.
It's snowing. It's snowing indoors. Badgett, who scored that last bucket. Danny Nee, Terry, was talking about Nebraska not filling the lanes well enough offensively, but right here it's Michigan State out of the break. Brooks walks.
Yeah, Searle's only a freshman. Not a bad idea to go up and down the floor a few times before you take your first shot. And Michigan State not shooting very well. Nebraska's shots have been fairly easy to this point.
And they're getting good ones. Yeah, they sure are. Snow back the other way for Michigan State. Respert, who's hit 1, make that 2. He has a feathery, soft touch, averaging 21 points per contest coming into this one. And the lead now down to 3 points for Nebraska.
Basically a 3-guard offense right now for Nebraska with Churls in there. And if you count Badgett as well, who's about 6'6", almost 4 guards. Salih, the only big man.
Salih missing, but at least being aggressive. Nice cut back door to Strickland. Good basketball. Back quickly comes Snow. Foul that time and called. Snow at the line now. This is the first of 2.
Had the Big Ten in assists last year, may do it again this year.
Approaching the 14-minute mark to go in the first half. Nebraska leading by 4 points. Tom Waldus checked into the game for Nebraska. That's Badgett missing the layup. Respert controls it.
Well, they've had some easy shots, though, haven't they? They've missed the last couple of times down the floor, but getting good looks.
Respert with a good look. Hey, if he can see the basket, it's a good look.
That's redundant when you say he's got a good look. He always has a good look at the rim.
Respert with another 3. Wow. And Michigan State within 1 point.
8-2 run for Michigan State after the timeout.
Boone with a little string music of his own. Brooks misses the easy finger roll. Searles. Rebound Bethea, controlled by Fight.
Guess what? We're going up the floor again.
And a foul called, Terry, on Jaron Boone. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Walled on Snow. Straight up man defense by Nebraska.
Boy, nice denial by Strickland. Making it tough for Weathers to get the basketball, and he causes the turnover. That's set up by the denial on the wing, Mark. Just great defense.
Nebraska leading by 4 points with 11:47 remaining in the first half. Danny Nee in his 9th year as head coach at Nebraska, really building this program into one of the top ones in the nation.
We talked to him yesterday. He loves it here. He says he's got a great situation here, and he loves the fact that football is so good here.
Takes the pressure off him. Snow with the pressure and the pick and the layup. Ooh. Eric Snow.
Hey, how about the leaps on both of those guys, huh? Eric Strickland coming down to try to make the block, and Snow with the high bank off the glass.
A busy day in college basketball this afternoon. Another turnover by Nebraska.
Credit Judd Heathcote with the defensive switch. He's got Damon Bethea now on the guards. On Boone right now, who's already hit a couple of 3-pointers. Respert was on him. Bethea with a couple of more inches of height, he can take away the outside jump shot and maybe cause that turnover.
Polonowski with a screen for Snow, who's doubled. Somebody should be open. Respert fouled in an attempt and foray to the basket. Got hit in the face.
That's a big foul on Boone, too. We'll see the next time down if Michigan State, whomever he's guarding, tries to go right to him.
If you're Danny Nee, Terry, do you leave him in the ballgame with 2 fouls with over 10 minutes to play in the first half?
You have to know your players, and he's an intelligent player, but he is taking a chance right now.
Strickland throws it inside. Here's Tom Wald with his first jumper, and it's a good one. The transfer out of Mankato State, Michigan State throws it away. 16-14, Nebraska with a 2-point lead, 9.5 minutes to play in the first half. Wald with the ball. Nebraska in its 3-guard offense. Wald being very aggressive. Gotta love his aggression, Terry.
Well, you mentioned he's a transfer, and he wrote all Division I schools. Danny Nee wrote him back and said, come on, his folks moved to Lincoln. What a perfect fit he's been here.
You know what? Sean Respert is just straight up cold-blooded. Hits another 3-pointer.
Boy, those eyes, too. He kind of looked over here and smiled after he hit the 3.
Boone wants it back and got it. Jaron Boone smiling. Respert, the yo-yo dribble. No good, a rebound to Strickland. The guards taking this game over.
And you've got Respert matched up with Tom Wald, and Snow is on Strickland. Strickland may be able to take Snow with the strength.
Inside they go, and Badgett was fouled by Brooks. Wald is a perfect 3 for 3 from the field. And Wald has 7 points. He has lit this crowd up in Lincoln. One of the great underdog stories in all of college basketball. Restburg. Rebound, Salee. Boom, NBA range. And he gets it back. Badgett. Another attempt for Nebraska. 3 for a quarter, no sir. And here comes Restburg. And he misses a layup. Get your track shoes on. Oh, baby! Fike clobbers Boone, and Boone gets 2 at the line. Deron Boone at the line for Nebraska. He has 10 points at this juncture. Boone has checked out of the game now. And in for him is Jason Block, a 6'5" junior guard.
A little different defense for Nebraska. They come out of the timeout in a half-court trap. Snow in the middle.
Brooks with the jump shot, no good. Another attempt, no good. Fike with the rebound. Fading away, can't get it to fall either. They come up with 0 points on 3 attempts.
Well, it's amazing. Only 2 people have scored for Michigan State. This man, Eric Snow, and Sean Restburg.
And still only 2 people have scored, but they'll take the points anyway.
He's got 7, and right now Restburg has 12, and that's it for the Spartans.
The ball off of Michigan State and off of their coach, Judd Heathcote, who wasn't watching. Michigan State leads the overall series 8-5. Michigan State still in its man-to-man defense. 6:45 remaining in the first half. Brooks has been silent so far and is still silent. Danny Nee took his team to the Big 8 tournament and won it last year. First time they've won it in Nebraska history.
Little 3-2 zone now for Michigan State.
Locke had an idea, passes it inside to Mikey Moore. The tall, slender one gets it to fall, and Michigan State turns it over again. Terry, it's one thing to run, but it's another thing to run under control.
Oh, you're right. I don't think Judd is that upset with some of those turnovers on the break. You're going to turn the ball over if you run. But his big men have been able to catch the ball, and today they haven't done it. And Glock hits a 3. Nebraska doing a lot of damage from the outside.
An 11-point Husker lead. Polonowski fakes. Out of bounds to Michigan State. Gotta love Danny Nee, the best ties in the business. Huh? Natalie attired coach for Nebraska.
You get those Brooklyn ties working here in Lincoln.
Caravalia with the left hand, a soft left-handed shooter, gets it to fall.
So finally somebody else scores for Michigan State.
And Boone cannot finger roll.
Well, you take a chance with 2 fouls driving the lane if you're Boone.
Boy, Snow with another uncontested layup. You cannot turn your back on him. Walled, a lot of contact, no whistle. Back comes Restburg. And a backcourt foul called against Boone. Terry, that's number 3.
I mean, what a foul to commit as well.
Restburg has an even dozen for Michigan State. Make that 13.
So mark down this time in your head. 5 minutes, 19 seconds left in the first half. And before that free throw, when Boone committed the foul, it was 30-23. We'll see what kind of run Michigan State can put on now. That's just a huge foul and a terrible decision by Boone.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
If you're Michigan State, Terry, how do you free up your high scorer, Restburg, against this defense?
It's awfully tough to free him up. Someone else has got to hit a jump shot or 2 to then get them out of that box and 1.
Badgett goes glass and gets it to fall. Badgett now with 6 points in the ball game. Garavalia hit a 3 earlier, misses this one.
And the problem is if you take those shots and don't hit them, Nebraska can just sit back in the box and 1.
Strickland throws up a wild jumper.
It is a gimmick defense, so you should get shots elsewhere. Somebody's going to have to step up and hit it. Or you can try to set screens. If Strickland does his job, though, the screen should not work because he'll have help everywhere on the court.
Snow is the second offensive option, and Snow got an easy look, but missed it. Out of bounds, Nebraska ball. Judd Heathcote's crew goes 20-12 a year ago, losing in the first round of the NCAA tournament, just like Nebraska. An 11-point lead for the Cornhuskers. More to Boone. Boone pulls up, goes glass, and drops it. Boone now with 14 this afternoon. Nice pass inside to Fike, and one. They cut the lead down to 10, just underway here in the second half. I'm Mark Jones along with Terry Gannon. Nebraska has led for a good portion of this game.
And there's that matchup again, Respert on Boone. Boone's been hot, and Respert with the steal.
They've got a 3-on-1. Weathers with the layup and the finish. And the lead is below double digits. Oh, Badgett missed the dunk, and it was partially blocked that time by Quentin Brooks, who's now raining down on the All-Big Ten officiating crew. And they call for a double dribble on Weathers. Rebound Fike, and now the lead is down to just 6 points.
And the other problem with the box-and-1, Mark, is trying to rebound out of it. It's not a defense you play very often, so you're not used to your responsibilities on the glass.
Always tough to rebound out of a zone, and even tougher, like you say, out of that box-and-1.
Yeah, especially out of a gimmick defense, which you don't practice every day in practice, and you only use in select periods of a game.
The Spartans in the midst of a 7-0 run. Strickland. Moore. No shot. Put a dent in the glass backboard that time. Not the shot that Nee wants.
Put that three away.
Respert, circus shot. And a foul underneath. It's against Quentin Brooks. The Spartans have chopped into that Nebraska lead, which now stands at just 6 points. Boone, Salih, Badgett, Brooks, and Strickland for Nebraska.
And now Snow is on Jerron Boone. Respert had him the last time down.
Respert, good defense, good hands, comes up with a steal. Sean Respert, an all-around player, and that's why he's a candidate for the Naismith Award.
And Danny Nee is going back to the man-to-man now. You can't stay in the box-and-1 very long, and I don't think it helped him. Good idea, but he came out and changed things up. Michigan State moving offensively with it. That's a good shot, Mark. He's got to hit that.
Yep. A 2-on-1 back the other way. Badgett and Strickland. It's all Badgett. Badgett, a returning starter out of Omaha, Nebraska, changed his number from 34 to 5 to signify his change in work ethic, and it paid off this year so far. And Husker fans are bringing the noise.
Here comes a double screen, trying to get Respert the basketball. Here he is.
Nice entry pass, rejection, and a foul. A foul on Melvin Brooks.
All right, the ball is on this side of the floor. Now he goes to the other side. Watch the quick pass inside. Here comes the defense out, and he's got Fike down low. Salih caught on the high side. That's a nice possession for Judd Heathcote's team.
Usually they like to switch on those screens. Fike makes the first of 2 foul shots. But Michigan State comes up with the ball temporarily. Who wants it? Huskers are on the floor and come up with it. And Strickland turns it over. Michigan State with possession, down by 7 points. 15.5 minutes to play in the second half. Fike posting up down low inside.
And a big lineup in for Michigan State now. They in, Fike is in, Garavaglia in. And they try to go it inside, but Bruno Archin's shot next time, right?
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was? He tried to go inside to Fike, Snow did, but he was a little strong. Boone maybe picking up some of the offensive slack with Strickland sitting down. Strong rebound by Fike. Michigan State on the run with numbers. Nice pass to Respert, who misses it. And so does Garavaglia. Not that time. He made sure, using 2 hands.
Just like Mark Jones used to do. Forget the layups, go ahead and dunk them.
A 5-point lead for Nebraska.
Important for Nebraska to get a good look this time down, because the last couple of times down, they haven't really done much with the basketball.
Salih trying to do something with the basketball, and he's fouled by Fike. Salih averaging 9.8 points a game, 6.5 rebounds per outing. This is the first of 2. He makes 1 of 2. Michigan State trailing by 6 with the ball. Fike posting up and losing at that time. Salih with the defensive play. Garavaglia might have gotten away with a push, but Weathers didn't get away with the foul on Wall. Out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, transfer from Mankato State.
Danny Nee really speaks highly of Tom Wall. He's been a nice surprise for them, and a young man who's really earned everything that he's gotten throughout the year.
Wall has the team's highest vertical leap at over 34 inches.
Well, no wonder he was posting up.
A 51-43 lead under 14 minutes to play in the second half. And they turn it over again. Sean Respert and Eric Snow-Terry have not scored this half.
They've really looked to go inside, but you're right, at some point, we're going to let Respert go.
Here's Boone for 3. Weathers with the rebound and possession. Fike with a strong Bogard move to the basket.
I don't see anybody stepping in to take a charge on that man.
Fike is a big load at 250 pounds. Strickland gets picked, but it's a foul on Respert. Strickland at the line, nicknamed the Bulldog by his teammates. You'll see that he has a tattoo on his shoulder.
You know, it's very dangerous to have a fad like that, because once it goes out, the tattoo stays. You know, the earrings and everything else, that's one thing. You can always close that hole up.
And they could be taken off with a lot less pain. Baseline jump shot is good by Bethea. Lead at 6. Strickland really pressing the issue, kicks it out to Wall. Nice pass inside to Salih. Is it a foul? Tom Rucker outside calls the foul against Michigan State. And Salih looking a little more aggressive here in the second half. Will go to the line for 2. Salih at the line for the second of 2. Missing both. Brooks with the rebound. The Spartans now with a chance to cut the lead down to 4. That would be as slow as they've cut it down to in a long time.
Fike and Salih going at it inside. Fike's been real active in the second half.
Yeah, he's had position. Brooks almost had the 3-point play. Instead, he'll get 2, but Fike has been active, Terry, inside, posting up.
Take a look at the last possession. We saw Jerron Boone down on the floor, and maybe that's what happened. He got a knee to the thigh. Eric Snow defensively kind of stuck the knee out. You rub it a little bit, you stretch a little bit, and you come back in.
Interesting that he's sitting down right now on the bench, Terry, because the worst thing that can happen when you get a Charlie horse is that that thing tightens up on you. You're best to keep moving and keep it loose.
Yeah, he's trying to keep it loose right now. He's got it moving while he's sitting there. I'm sure you'll see him come back in. Danny Nee talking to him right now.
Brooks misses both foul shots. Fike with the rebound. A lot of contact, no call. Fike over the top, and he's whistled for the foul.
And Boone trying to stay active on the sidelines. He's going to get a rest for a few minutes, but he's not going to sit down. Yeah, just what you mentioned, so that the hamstring doesn't tighten up.
Boone out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Had his mother come to the game last week against Creighton. They often make the trip to Lincoln to watch him play. A foul called underneath against Nebraska, so they give the ball away. Nebraska with 3 players with 3 fouls, Boone, Brooks, and Badger. Michigan State with 2 players with 3 fouls, Brooks and Fike. Brooks stripped inside. They picked his wallet, didn't even leave him change. Here's Strickland in the open court. Strickland out of Bellevue, Nebraska, averaging 17.5 points a game, 5 rebounds. has really made a commitment now, Terry, to start playing basketball exclusively. Although the people within the Florida Marlins organization say that the door will always be open to him if he wants to make the return back to baseball. But he was a lot more rested when they started practice in October, and it really showed.
Yeah, he said he just got to the point where he was so worn out he couldn't give full attention to either sport. So he decided to take at least a year off, maybe 2. He's only a junior here at Nebraska. Take a couple years off of baseball, always have that chance.
That time they make the entry pass, and Fike follows up his miss with a nice tip.
You've got to credit not only Fike, but Judd Heathcote. Here in the second half, I'm sure he talked about it at halftime. Get the basketball to the big men. Let them become involved in the offense. Nebraska leads by 5, and this man right now, Jamie Fike, one of the reasons Michigan State has gotten back in this ball game. Watch the position down low. So Lee gets caught fronting him. The help is not there. When it does come, it's little Tom Wald. And Fike with 10 points in the second half. He has been the man they've gone to, Mark, to cut this lead from 9 to 5.
When you're a big man and you make yourself big in the low post, it really helps your team out. Strickland from Omaha. Rebound controlled by the Spartans.
Might have been from Chicago.
Wow. And look at the discrepancy in scoring on the part of Snow and Respert in the second half. They have yet to put it through the hole in the second half. But Snow is still hustling on defense. And still pushing it. Nice pass. Fike got away with a walk. Possession, Michigan State. Another missed attempt. Another easy miss by the Spartans.
Look at Arkansas and what they're doing today. We've got Arkansas against Auburn, second week of January.
January 14th, going to be a nice contest.
Here's the boxing one now again, Mark, for Nebraska.
Now, it hurt them last time.
Well, I think what it did, it allowed the big men from Michigan State to get involved in the game. They had to go to the big men and not rely on Respert.
Polanowski from downtown, bang.
And that's the risk you run in the boxing one defense.
A 2-point lead for Nebraska. Steve Polanowski from Rockford, Michigan narrows it to just 2. Boone. Polanowski couldn't squeeze, and Strickland out-hustles him.
Now, Boone hit the jump shot early in the second half, but he's been quiet too.
So Lee on the baseline.
Little zone from the Spartans now.
Strickland loses it, and Michigan State can tie it with a 2 or take the lead with a 3 on this possession.
They go back to the man-to-man.
And Michigan State running out of its 1-4 set. A staple of Judd Heathcote for the 19 years he's been in East Lansing. Garavaglia got it to fall. Folks, we're tied. It's the 3rd time this afternoon the game has been knotted. 9.5 minutes to play. It's 54 apiece.
Spartans stay in their zone. A 3-2 zone allows them to get out on shooters. This is where Boone's got to step up into the seam. Here he is.
Boone for 3. Polanowski had a hand in his face, and Polanowski runs the floor.
Nice catch.
And he has it blocked underneath by Boone. Possession, Huskers. You gotta like the way that Polanowski got on and ran the break that time.
Michigan State's big people really run the floor well. In the first half, they were beating Nebraska up the floor, but they couldn't handle the pass. And just a nice defensive play from Boone. Now, against the zone, Boone with the leg injury. Remember, he got kneed in the thigh. The last 2 shots have been short. He's got to make sure he gets it to the basket.
Oh, good point. Very good point. That time, Garavaglia whistled for the foul.
Garavaglia, a former Mr. Basketball in the state of Michigan, and now a player that Judd really likes. He just thinks he needs to get more consistency out of him.
Strickland makes the first of 2. And an interesting little footnote, when you look at the Nebraska coaching staff, their assistants wear that headset to communicate with other people up in the stands.
And Gary Bargan, who took over in a game earlier this year when Danny Nee was thrown out against Northeast Louisiana, had to take the headset off then and go to the head coaching duties. But you don't see many teams using the headset on the side. Maybe the influence of football out here.
Michigan State has been the better of the 2 teams in the second half. And the sellout crowd of over 14,000 letting their voice be heard. Brooks on the drive, and he's fouled.
This man has to take up the slack.
He's a prolific scorer when he wants to be. In fact, yesterday in practice, after Judd had finished kind of working the guys over, Brooks converted on a nice alley-oop. Judd kind of looked up and said, guys, I think maybe we should end on that, huh? Let's call it.
Yeah, that was silence because it was an awesome. There was a one-handed slam off of the alley-oop, and Judd said, that's enough. We can't get any better than that.
Brooks has 4 fouls, makes both foul shots. Mikey Moore travels, and now Michigan State with an opportunity to take the lead on this possession. Nebraska has turned it over 16 times, much to the dismay of Danny Nee.
Especially against the zone defense. It really hasn't been against pressure from Michigan State.
Out of the 1-4, nice backdoor cut, but the pass doesn't make it there.
A tough pass to handle, the bounce pass on the break.
Clock all day to hit the 3. Rebound Snow. Wow, what a rebound.
Here he comes.
Respert. Shot looking a flat, but a nice tip by Brooks. Michigan State with its first lead of the ball game, 58-56.
And Nebraska has not figured out the 3-2 zone. It's really worked. With Polanowski at the top, the size, able to take away that shot of Boone.
Now, what do you do if you're Nebraska? Do you cut him through and make him go to a wing?
Absolutely. You make sure he finds a seam elsewhere without the size at the top.
Moore is blocked, came over the top, got possession, and then lost it. Respert loses possession back the other way. Maybe forced it just a tad too much. And as you astutely pointed out earlier, Polanowski at the top really puts the clamps on the shooters, Strickland and Boone.
At 6'9", he takes away that shot at the top of the key.
So a good move by Judd Heathcote and his coaching staff. Salih comes over the top and commits a foul coming over the back of Brooks. Comes into the game just shooting 3 of 6, and he misses the front end of the bonus. Under 7 minutes to play, a 2-point lead. Walled from the baseline, got it. And Nebraska now ties the game at 58 apiece.
And that's where the shot is going to have to come from.
Snow looking for the rub-off out of that box set. Polanowski inside, strong. Boy, Fike is a man inside. He is 110% man.
4 fouls now on Terrence Badger. So Salih has a seat on the bench, and Nebraska goes to their small lineup. So you'll see them try to push the ball up much more than they have and get some opportunities without having to face the half-court zone defense.
Terry, Michigan State just 11 of 18 from the stripe. Boone still trying to get off here in the second half. He's only scored 2 points in the second half. Strickland takes it. Oh, baby! And he snuffs it at the other end, but a foul.
Watch the miss by Strickland. He's not even in your picture. Finally, here comes Brooks. Then he hustles down to stop the fast break of Eric Snow. And they call the foul, but the fact is they stopped the easy layup, and the crowd is still on its feet. Momentum in the favor of Nebraska right now.
Snow misses the foul shot. Snow makes 1 of 2, and it's a 1-point lead for the Cornhuskers. Nebraska pushing it up quickly. Michigan State back in a man now, Terry.
Yeah, a little smaller lineup in for Nebraska, so Michigan State goes to the man-to-man, and that surprises me a little bit right now.
Strickland baseline. Melvin Brooks. He's a senior, and he's stepping up. Respert got the layup.
Oh, they let him out of jail because Snow was up in the air with nowhere to go.
Boone has it stripped, and it's out of bounds. It'll stay with Nebraska. 62-61, Nebraska leading with 5:20 remaining in the game. Boone trying to come alive. Respert trying to answer, and he puts a silencer on 14,000 people.
Two pretty good guards we're looking at right now, Jerron Boone and Sean Respert. And back to the man-to-man from Michigan State with Snow on Boone.
Strickland wants some. Oh! Nebraska in its 2-3 matchup zone.
Actually, they just switched to the box and one. You've got Strickland on Respert.
Wall picks it off. Oh, what a block. Eric Snow.
I'd say this game has picked up a little bit.
A 3-point lead with the ball for Nebraska. Boone hit his last one, misses this one. Brooks with the rebound, here's Respert. Fike is open for the lob, and he slams it home. A nice look by Sean Respert. Fike called for it, Terry, at midcourt.
And a nice gather. Once he caught the ball, didn't bring it back down, just went straight up.
Something that Judd Heathcote talked to his big men about yesterday at practice. Lead down to 1 with 3:50 to play. Boone. Foul called on Eric Snow. Ron Boone with plenty of experience.
His father played for the Kansas City Omaha Kings at the time, and Ron lived in Omaha when he grew up.
Snow with the ball, being covered by Wall. Let's check out this Nebraska defense.
Straight man-to-man, Strickland on Respert. Here he is.
Respert with the ball fake. Smooth as butter. That's cream.
About body control, Mark, and just staying squared up to the basket. He's got it all.
The game is knotted at 68 apiece. Approaching 3 minutes to play. Here's Wall. Polodowski still on Boone. You would think they could exploit that matchup.
You would think they could get it to Boone and he could go by him.
Strickland, nice feed inside to Moore. A great look by Strickland. And Danny Nee nodding his head in approval.
Well, Judd Heathcote likes to run plays. He's got set plays. See if he goes to his All-American candidate, Sean Respert.
They get the screen for Brooks on the wing, who pops.
Wow. He hasn't done that the entire game, and now a big shot from Brooks.
A silky smooth touch by Q. It's tied at 70, 2.5 to play. Danny Nee calling out a half-court set from the bench. Boone with the ball. You would think they would try and get him something. Weave out top. Strickland taking Snow. A foul underneath. Who's it on? Official Tom Rucker says he'll get 2. And he misses the first down.
Went to Chowan Junior College. Outstanding junior college. Produced a lot of players. Nate McMillan, who went to NC State. Now played the NBA.
And Strickland, Terry, comes up with a heads-up play. Stealing the rebound from Snow. Those things are so costly late in the game if you're Michigan State. Boom! Missing the finger roll. Who's got it? Who else? The All-American candidate. It's Respert time. This is the time of the game when Sean Respert usually shines. He is a picture of poise under pressure.
They'll try to get it back to him here off the double screen. There he is.
And he pops it off the baseline. Bingo! It's Sean time. It's Respert time. It's prime time.
On cue. Now Danny Nee electing just to go ahead and go with the offensive possession. No timeout here. Minute 29 counting. Still got a full load of timeouts plus a 20 left.
A 3-point lead for Michigan State. Respert with 26 points. Inside, Brooks misses. A mushroom cloud forming over the key, but no whistles, Terry. There's a lot of contact underneath.
This has been a Big 8, Big 10 battle. A lot of bodies flying around, and now Michigan State with the timeout. You saw the timeout situation right now. Michigan State with Respert going to the hoop.
Respert with the reverse in the left hand. No time to wait. Sean Respert inbounds the ball. Everyone turned their head, and he burned them for 2.
Nebraska just fell asleep.
And a near steal that time by Snow. Three-pointer, no good. Brooks with the rebound. And a foul called on flank.
And now it's a three-point game. You don't have to foul here. You can play solid defense. It's a three-point game, but I think they will, because Michigan State has only had 5 of 12 in the second half, one of their last 5. Don't foul this man, though.
And just as the words roll off your tongue, they foul Sean Respert. He has made the big plays. He did the jump shot from the corner. He got the layup on the reverse off the inbounds play, and now he sinks 2.
You still do not need a 3. You can go ahead and try for one, but it's a 2-possession game, 5-point game.
Here's the 3 from Strickland. Off the mark. A scramble in the paint. Polinoski wrestling Brooks for the ball. The possession arrow in favor of Nebraska. Boone, oh, it's down and in and dumped in by Moore.
Now you foul somebody other than Respert. Don't let him have the ball. Go ahead and foul Brooks.
Snow, not a great foul shooter, but they get the ball alertly to Respert. Fike. Polinoski loses it, and it's out of bounds. Michigan State retains possession. Back to the hardwood, 20.5 seconds to play.
And Snow is taking the ball out of bounds. And this is the man they want, yeah.
Being double teamed and fouled by Tom Wall. Nebraska with 3 3-point shooters on the floor. Boone, Strickland, and Wall. They can all shoot the 3, but they need the opportunity, and Respert tries to deny them making the second one. Now it's a 4-point lead.
3 does you no good, Mark. You've got to go to the hole. They don't want to foul, and then foul when you get it back.
Boone hits the 3. It's a 1-point game. In both prior similar situations, Respert has been able to get his hands on the inbound pass.
He's going to get it again because they're not even fronting. There he is.
And there's a man, Fike, wide open down court, but Respert keeps it himself and gets fouled. Make that 33 points for Sean Respert. Walled with the ball. He can shoot the 3. A foul called. It's against Boone.
No, he called a timeout.
This is a play they practiced late yesterday in practice. We'll see if it paid off. Strickland. Boone has a shot to tie. And he's fouled. He's fouled by Snow. Wall fouled by Snow. One shot, one foul shot for a tie game.
Rebound.
It's tied. Strickland. Nebraska controls the tip. Walled with the pill to Strickland. This could turn into a battle of attrition. Michigan State has 2 players with 4 fouls. Nebraska with 1. Brooks inside and 1. The proverbial door was left open, and Nebraska is taking advantage. They lead by 3. Just underway in overtime. Michigan at 2-0, trying to stay unbeaten. Nebraska at 5-1.
Straight man-to-man for Nebraska.
An ISO play for Respert on the wing. Rebound controlled. Here's Wall. The jumper was a little bit flat.
Got his shot, but you're right. He was fading away, and it was flat.
Moore turnaround. Got it. Moore making a contribution.
Hey, are they cooking right now?
Three-pointer, Snow. Respert can't get the tip.
Michigan State tried to go inside the fight to really allow them to take the lead in the first 10 minutes of the second half, but he's been quiet as of late.
Resper moving up court, trying to pressure Wall. Boone. Oh, you gotta like that.
Judd wanted a timeout. Resper drove by him and said, no, we don't want one.
Arroyo for three, the big man.
Well, pretty good decision by Resper there, I'll tell you. Judd wanted the timeout that time.
That three was huge.
See, here's a matchup. Kalinowski against Boone. Boone knows that he can take him to the hole. And he's got the size advantage to take away the jumper, but not quite quick enough to stay with Duran.
We've got a two-man game on one side with Boone. Strickland from the baseline. Strickland with 16. None bigger than those last three. So Judd Heathcote has made a counter move defensively for Michigan State. And the Spartans have it.
Where was that pass going?
And a wide open layup for Fight. He's fouled. Makes both of them. It's a three-point game. 2:10 to play in overtime. Tom Wald sent this game into overtime, making 3 consecutive foul shots with .5 to go in the game. Nebraska has led for the majority of the contest, but Michigan State led late in regulation time, only to give that lead away. Strickland covered by Snow. In and out, rebound Spartans. And a whistle against Michigan State. Brooks misses the first of 2. It's a 4-point game.
Plenty of time for Michigan State, though. Minute 40 plus. Go ahead, just get a solid shot out of your offense.
Looks like they're going to run their special for Resper. Strickland has been going high side on those screens.
They credit Wall with a good defensive job on Snow.
He goes high side again and gets burned almost. It comes out.
You're right.
A hoop here would be very, very auspicious for Nebraska. 1:05 to play in the first overtime period.
And youngster Weathers, only a sophomore, first year of play. He's on Boone.
Spreading the floor now for Wald. Wald with a pretty nice handle. Resper, a ball hawk in his own right. The miss, the rebound, back to the Spartans. A 4-point lead for Nebraska. Resper for 3. A little long, Garavaglia with the rebound.
Big board.
Another 3 attempt. And a poor miss. Who's it off? Nebraska with the ball, leading by 4. He sat out last year, watched and learned, and he has come full circle. A 6-point ball game. Nebraska with the lead. 2-possession game. They need a 3 here. And they get the foul. Strickland not getting to the baseline in time. Resper with only 1 miss today from the strike. They get it in before the 5 count. Brooks at the line. We saw Michigan State blow their opportunity to put the ball game away from the foul line at the end of regulation time. Now Nebraska has an opportunity to put it away from the foul line. Still a 5-point game. Resper steps back for 3. A foul called, and that should just about do it. Wald at the foul line. Tom Wald pretty much put his bed in the weight room. He bench presses well over 200 pounds, about 225 pounds. Improved his vertical leap from 28 inches to 35 inches, and he has put a lid on this one for Nebraska.
Yeah, but you know what came through for him today? The bigness of his heart. I mean, that's how you hit 3 free throws to send the game to overtime.
Danny Nee's team hands Michigan State its first loss of the season.